A high-scoring affair in Syracuse, Duke losing by a score of 91-89 in overtime despite the best efforts of Rasheed Suleiman. Hey, I'm Eitan Tye for Duke Student Broadcasting with my partner, Dan Carp of the Chronicle. Dan, take us through the last play, some controversy afterwards. First, let's start with Rasheed Suleiman's shot.
Absolutely, Eitan. Well, I mean, there are two key plays you can hinge this entire game on. The first was Rasheed Suleiman's buzzer beater at the end of regulation, and the second was a missed dunk by Rodney Hood down the stretch in overtime. Let's start with Suleiman. 4.6 seconds left. Duke is down by 3. They have no timeouts. They push the ball to Rasheed. He takes it across half court, evades a Syracuse defender who, by the way, was trying to foul him. They were trying to put him on the foul line because that way he would have only had a chance to score 2 when he was down 3. Pulls up from way outside, knocks it down at the buzzer. A record-setting crowd at the Carrier Dome goes absolutely silent. It was one of the quintessential moments of this Duke basketball season. Then, moments later, closing seconds of overtime, Rodney Hood takes it off the left wing, goes up for a dunk. It looks like he fought through a lot of contact. The dunk clangs off the rim. Syracuse gathers up the ball. They're able to ice the victory. Really, really hard way for Duke to lose this one.
All right, let's talk about Syracuse for a second. CJ Fair, player of the game. He really put the Cuse on his back. How did he help the Cuse win?
Well, I mean, it all came down to Duke getting into foul trouble down the stretch. You're talking about Jabari Parker and Emil Jefferson were Duke's 2 primary offensive weapons for the first 30 minutes of the game. They each picked up their 4th foul with about 10 minutes to play, sending them to the bench, and that's when CJ Fair really went off. He knew that nobody on the floor was going to be able to body him up because Duke was worried about continuing to get his big men into foul trouble. He really took advantage, and he was a difference maker down the stretch for Syracuse.
All right, let's talk about the atmosphere for a second. Syracuse fans have been preparing for this game for weeks. Even the buses said beat Duke on them, beat Duke. T-shirts were flying off the shelves. What was the most surprising, interesting thing you saw in Syracuse leading up to the game?
I mean, I think you kind of just encapsulated it there. Just this entire town really just ground to a halt for today's game. We're talking about packing almost 36,000 people into the Carrier Dome today. That's a record-setting crowd for a college basketball game played on a university campus. And really, I mean, it's Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow, but everybody was looking forward to Duke-Syracuse, their showdown at the Carrier Dome. And luckily for the fans in Durham who didn't get to see this one, the Orange are coming to Cameron in 3 weeks, and Duke is going to have an opportunity for some revenge.
All right, some have dubbed it the Super Bowl of college basketball. We'll see what Duke can do leading forward. For the Chronicle's Dan Carp, I'm Eitan Tye. Let's hope Duke wins next time.